Hello everybody out there in the internet, welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 383. I'm Chris Sounds TKKNMSTR, joined by...
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So yeah, we've got some what you've been playing, tips, and Black Friday stuff, maybe, possibly, whatever. And the news, yippee.
Woohoo!
So...
It's aimless time.
Aimless Podcast.
Savor it, because the next being in the service industry means that the podcast is always at risk.
In the darkest timeline.
Okay, so this week I have my 2DS in front of me, so I can say how far I am and what the time is. So I'm at 28.7% with 18 hours, 53 minutes, and 8 seconds, so almost 19 hours in. 8 more, blah, blah, cannot talk today. 8 more Metroids to hunt down, so getting there. And yeah, I got some power-ups, a couple of power-ups. I got the plasma beam and the spin jump and the space suit, or it wasn't called the space suit. It was like, I don't know, gravity suit? Whatever. There's like 3 power-ups I got in quick succession, and then like all of a sudden I could just like go to like a bunch of different parts of the map and like get to places I hadn't been able to get to before, and my jump was like even more awesome because I could like jump super high and just like keep juggling it, and it does like damage now, which is cool. And like the plasma gun shoots through the like green thingies on the door I couldn't shoot before, and it's like finally I can get through these green doors. And man, and then like the power missile that shoots through the things that I couldn't shoot before, and it's like, man, I could, oh yeah, that's the other thing, I got the power missile. And just like, yeah, just a bunch of power-ups finally to get through a bunch of places I couldn't get before, and I can finally just go in. I mean, I had to backtrack.
This game is super long. It sounds like
It's pretty long. There's a lot going on there, but it's mostly just like
oh,
backtracking
no.
once you've gotten the thing and like the map. I mean, the thing about the map is like there's like teleport stations, but they're spread out, so it's not exactly always where it needs to be. So you kind of like got to get to a place and then get to the specific place in the zone that you're in, and then get around to getting there. But it's not that bad. But yeah, it's pretty lengthy. Still enjoying it, still having fun, and still liking the sweet Metroid tunes and stuff. Oh, and the bosses, like, they kind of evolve too. It's pretty cool. Because, like, you start off fighting, like, just the Metroids, or, like, the bosses anyway, or Metroids. And then they get, like, kind of corrupted by, like, the elements. But then there's other stuff that pops out at you, like, whoa, what's this thing? And you fight it, and it's like, oh, okay, it's a boss, cool.
What kind of elements?
And then, like, fire and electric-y stuff. And I think those are like the only 2, and maybe ice, but yeah, that stuff. And then there's like this part with like this robot was in the foreground or the background, and then like the music was like oh dun 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 dun. Okay, it wasn't exactly like dun 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 dun, but there was like some music that queued up of like dun 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 dun. Not exactly like that. I don't remember what it was, but you know, stuff went down and like the music kicked in, and then you basically had to like it was like Uncharted 3 chase section. Samus is in danger. Get out of there! And it was like this giant robot thing. He was just like wrecking the screen, and you had to like run and not get murdered. And I was like, "Whoa, this is new." I had not ever played anything like that in a Metroid game. It's pretty cool. I kind of died a few times, but you know, because it's like a one-hit kill situation. Because you gotta like not f up, or it overtakes the screen and you die. So it's like, oh well. On the one hand, that was cool. On the other hand, kind of infuriating and, you know, annoying, but hey, I got past it, so that was nice. Only one of those in the game so far, so we'll see if there's another one. Probably not, because that would be testing it, just saying. Let's see.
Pushing it,
yes. Besides that, finished Guardians. Oh man, Telltale. They hit a home run, I would say, in this one, because it gets a bit... It's weird, like, the tone of the game is just, like, you know, it has its highs and lows, but it goes there. It still goes there, even though it's, like, not M-rated. And, like, stuff goes down, and it's like, wow, that was, like, it's still very touching, because you spend time with these characters, and stuff happens, it's like, it's just, like, it still does it. Like, it just gets me in my orange glowy spot, tingly sensation all over, and,
Oh my.
yeah, just, you know, when stuff happens, and you get hit in the feels, and you're just like, man, we're a team, we're going through stuff, and then stuff happens, it's like, oh. And the like, you know, the dramatic character moments is just, oh, so good. And then it has, like, this pirate share button. I will upload it soon. And it's like, you know, it to me encompasses why the Guardians game is so awesome in Telltale style, is because the moments when you're, like, controlling the entire team Telltale style with like the QTEs and stuff, and like why the magical secret sauce of the QTE works in this situation, because you can do all these things with all these characters, and it's just like so fluid and adaptive and just like magical, and it works, as opposed to like you're controlling one character and you're doing this thing, and then you push buttons and you're just one character, but then you have support characters but you don't control them and they're helping but not really, and it's like it's pretty good but not as good as Telltale style. So that was pretty cool, because there's like the opening section with Thanos, and there's the part that I share buttoned, and yeah, pretty good stuff. And there's a part where you get to be Groot. I was like, oh man, and it's like it does like the funny fourth wall breaking thing, where it's like the Telltale thing, and like you have the 4 choices, but whatever you say, it comes out, I am Groot. So I was like, oh, that's that's like the best.
Oh,
Awesome.
does it?
It does.
That's pretty hilarious then.
All day.
And then like every episode I think has like one of those parts. Well, I don't know if there's a part like that in either of the movies, but like there's a part where like Quill puts on the cassette tape and like music happens, and like there's a sweet sequence of like action stuff going down. Of like there's like at least one part like that every episode, which is very satisfying. And the part in I think the 4th episode, man, really good. And then like there's a part where like your ship is weighed down, and they're like, we gotta throw stuff out, and then you have to like either say, okay, well the tape deck can go, or the tape deck cannot go. And I was like, pfft, we have like some epic moments with our tape deck and it ain't going. So I had to like stand my ground and be like, no, I'll throw out everything else except my tape deck. You can all go after yourselves, because we're not getting rid of my sweet jams that we have in action sequences.
Priorities, I guess.
Yeah, reasons. But yeah, I very much enjoyed it. And there's also like, I don't know, I think this, since I had like the one choice that was like super major, I'm not sure like if you have the same situation at the end, but there's a very interesting in-credit sequence on the final episode, and it's like, oh well, I'm wondering what would have happened if I did this choice. It would have been the same thing, but it probably would have. So it ends you. But then that's the weird thing, like there's a tease, but it's like where like the status quo is at the end, it's like, well, that doesn't really change anything. You still have no way to unchange the situation, so I'm really interested to see how they pick up from there. Besides that, lovely Telltale awesomeness. Played some oh yeah, the only thing I played was Destiny, so yeah, Destiny 2. Faction Rally, but I just used the exploit to get all the tokens, or all the tokens in the engrams, because like I'm not grinding that crap out, F that crap. And then I was like, yeah, spending the rest of my time not grinding is great. It's much better than Public Eventing all week long to get engrams that don't decrypt what you want them to anyway, because FRNG. So the only character to have full faction armor right now, for me, is my Hunter. Warlock needs the helmet, and the Titan needs the arms, and maybe something else, but yeah, that's where they're at. And then I still haven't gotten a full set of prestige armor from the raid. I need a helmet on the Warlock. I think the other characters need everything else, because I've only raided in prestige with my Warlock. So yeah. And Trials, we did not get there. We got to 4 wins? Yeah, we got to 4 wins. It was on a map I haven't played before, and it was on Countdown, which I've decided I do not like as much as Elimination, or whatever.
Oh, you never played Eternity? Because you weren't there the first week. Yeah.
So I've decided I do not like Countdown as much as the other one, because it just feels like it doesn't matter if you plan it or not. Like if you like the time to defuse, I think is just too high, because it's like it just feels like it's not in your advantage to plant the bomb, because it just seems like the time to defend the defusal is just like way too high. It's like we had so many situations where it's like the bomb we defused, and it's like, why even play to plant the bomb if it's going to be defused every effing time? It's like, well, I mean, sure, you have to defend the bomb. It's like that. I mean, come on. Like, getting into the planet is hard enough. It's like, it's like, F this game mode. I was like, you know what? F it. Just like, yeah. It's not search and destroy enjoyment levels from this. So I was like, you know what? I don't like this game type. So, yeah. Then hopefully some Iron Banner next week, because there's nothing going on this week. And New Monarchy, once they got the sword, whatever. There's a sword, New Monarchy, whatever. But hopefully it's...
I mean, it looks cool. If I use swords, then maybe. But I do not. I'm really bad at them. I don't have months and months of Destiny 1 experience with swords.
But yeah, you know, just if it's Iron Bear next week, I'll go for Iron Bear armor. If it's not, then nothing going on again. So yeah. I did notice though, from like my limited time, or just not, I guess not my limited time, but like over the course of the weeks I've been playing, or months, however long it's been now, is that since they took out machine guns and I don't really use fusion rifles, and I only use like the raid rocket launcher since I've got it, I've gotten a lot better with rocket launchers in PvP. So I'm getting a lot of splash damage kills, and it's just very satisfying to kill multiple people at once with your heavy. It's like, oh yeah, take that.
Genocide?
Oh my.
Multiple peoples?
I mean a multi-kill, jeez. And it's funny because like I have a tracking rocket on my warlock, but I keep not infusing it up because I can't get like a good power level heavy to infuse it, so I'm not really using it because I don't know, I'm so like weird where I'm like, if I'm not 305, I'm like not. I just don't like to play when I'm not 305. It just makes me feel weird. So I'm like, I don't equip it because I don't want it to bring me down. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I do that, but yeah. It's like I gotta be at 305 or just all that work for nothing. That being said, it kind of is for nothing because power doesn't matter anymore, so it's like whatever. It's, yeah. So it's like, I guess I gotta get off that whole power level, whatever, trip thing. Not power trip, but like a power level trip. Ha ha ha. But yeah, Destiny 2. And then I watched the stream for the Curse of Osiris Part 1 slow PR dribble feed.
I heard they shut the raid.
They didn't show the raid Trioptical. They showed like the door that goes to the raid, and that was it. Also, asterisk, no new raid. You're just getting a new area in the current Leviathan area ship.
Oh, I
so
knew
massive.
it. I knew
And
it.
they also said that in expansion 2 it's the same thing. Like, you're just going to get another area because it's a planet or a world eater, planet eater, blah blah blah. It's so big and massive, blah blah blah. You've only seen so much, blah blah blah. So you know, I look forward to exploring the rest of the underbelly in the next section of the.
Wait, so is
ship.
the Leviathan the thing from that part that you see? If you is that vague enough?
That is not.
Is that too vague?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh,
There's just a
never
door.
mind.
They didn't show anything. It's just a door that opened, and they're like, "There's where the raid layers are going to, or the raid layers at. There you go. There's the entrance." Oh. So
No, like the Leviathan itself. Is it the thing, or has it always
Why are
been?
you being so vague?
All right, so you know at the end of the campaign, there's like a teaser, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that?
That's not the.
Are we
Leviathan.
there?
That's not.
That's
the
not
Leviathan.
it, right?
That's not the. Leviathan.
Okay.
That being said, they showed something really cool, or they hinted at something really cool in Osiris called the Infinity Forest, and if they can pull it off, I can see myself just like, you know, I mean, I already played too much of the game, but it's like my hours upon hours will be like rewarded just because it will like finally have like a way to like make it new and fresh. I mean, not every time, but like close enough. It's not procedurally generated. They said it wasn't. But it's like essentially every time you go in, it's a different. Like the encounters are different, and the like the combinations are different. Like every time you go in, so it's similar to like the way they had them in Prison of Elders, kind of. But it's supposedly supposed to be different every time. So it's like
It's
that would be
basically, yeah, continuing copying,
cool. What they always do.
copying Diablo.
So I guess we'll see.
Adventure mode.
Sounds pretty cool. And then like the cinematic they showed with the stars was cool. So I'm definitely feeling the tingles of can't wait to play it. So yep, saving up all my exotic Ingrams so I can just have them turn in once they fix that bug. Yippee, and get new exotics maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, but they also said that the LAIR layers, that's what they're not layers like layers of cake or something. The raid layers, supposedly, I guess they're like not as long as a normal raid, and then like on the normal raid and prestige, well, I don't know about prestige, but like the normal raid, they're gonna like raise the power level of the stuff that drops. But I mean, but it's so weird because it's that like it matters anyway. So it's like, I guess only in PvE doesn't matter, but it's like, at this point I'm already 305, so it's like whatever, man. Just yeah, I guess I gotta do something to help the casuals. So there you go, casuals. Have fun with that. But but yeah, so you know, looking forward to it and seeing what all this Osiris stuff is about. More Vex, interesting, because yeah, I mean, just like the stuff that they said, as far as like from like a narrative standpoint, as far as like the Vex are like building this thing and like what's their end goal and what's going to go down, and there's like supposedly this like dark timeline if like that you get to see in the future. I mean, that
Well,
we're
that's all the case.
Destiny 2.
This was kind of funny, yeah, because I was like, oh, darkest timeline. Too bad we're already there. Or did they call? I think they called it the dark future, not the darkest timeline. I'm sorry, they didn't use our words.
Close enough.
They said the dark future.
Close enough.
That is true. In the not too distant dark future, because we're already there. Oh, yeah.
It's funny because it's terrible.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Well, I think I said it before the podcast last time. I was talking about, or no, it was after the podcast. I was talking about wanting to buy games, but also feeling really bad about the huge pile of games that I have not finished. And so I declared, all right, I'm going to finish 5 of my games before I buy the next new one. And and new doesn't mean like new game. It just means new to me. So it could be a $2 game. But yeah, finish 5. And that's the ratio I was trying to go for. And I impressed myself. I'm like, wow, I finished, I finished 6 games as defined by Tekken as when the credits roll, you finish them. Although... and we'll get to it later, why that may not let me buy another game yet, because of other factors. But anyway, so I started off with Call of Duty WWII, because I bought it at launch to play with my buddies. And then I was like, oh, this is... No, thank you. Okay. The campaign is pretty cool. It's really neat to go back to World War II and see it like this, and it looks... I mean, I guess it's a typical Call of Duty campaign. But it's really pretty, and we haven't seen World War II in a long time. I don't want to oversell it.
It's like a throwback, because been there, done that.
Back.
We can do it again.
You go to D-Day.
I also saw the commercial Trioptical, by the way, and I was like thinking as I was watching it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If we had a Disney 2 version of this, it would be like me getting pulled into like a dark room and like interrogated, and like with a flashlight in my face of like, "You're gonna get it, Tekken. You may be resisting now, but we'll break you. You're gonna break." We just like being tied up and like, "No, I will resist you."
That would be section.
Like, slowly breaking down.
So yeah, like that one is really fun. Nazi Zombies is actually really fun. And then, but yeah, I guess I don't have too much to say about Call of Duty because really it is. So one thing that is really cool and different is that they went back to health packs.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in a review.
But then, yeah, the way they did it is like your squad matters. So each of your squad mates has like an ability, and we're talking single player here. They have an ability, and it would be something like, so for example, like one guy throws health packs to you. So by getting kill streaks, or not kill streaks, just like, actually I'm not really sure. By doing stuff in the campaign, and since you can only shoot people, I think that's the thing that does it. By doing that, you get you like charge up their abilities, and then they can throw you health packs, or throw you ammo, or throw you smoke flares, so that you can throw mortar or like launch mortar attacks, and just all this stuff. And it's like, that's kind of cool. But it was really neat to see that they went with health packs again, because I guess it kind of makes sense. Not realistically speaking, but we're saying like...
None of them now, and they used them in Modern, so... Or they didn't use them, rather.
Well, no, like, you get shot, and health pack isn't going to help you that much.
It is not. It is not.
That's what I'm referring to, realistically speaking. No, like, I think Halo was the first regenerating health game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
everybody
they said
copied it after.
Yeah, like the reason they did it was because they wanted people to be able to like do riskier stuff and just have these like cool action hero sequences. And then, so when you're talking about, oh, this is a World War II game, you know, that doesn't necessarily make sense. Ah, and so, like the health pack part, and just like integrating that with the squad and having the squad feel helpful. Like one of the guys, this was sort of weird, but I guess it's correct. Like, even if you're not the commander of the squad, you should still be able to ask your commander for help. So, like, your commander is a guy, his ability is he spots all the enemies, so they all become highlighted and through walls and everything. And so you can, like, call... Or I guess that's a cool ability. So the other guy, who's also your superior, you can call him and he throws you ammo. And that seems like a lesser job, like someone you would... like one of your lackeys would do it for you, but it's like, nah, it makes sense. Like everyone, it's a team. Yes, there is this chain of command, but it's not to limit people's abilities to help out the team. Yeah, so that part of the campaign I thought was pretty cool. And so that was the first game, and I was like, cool. Although it's a Call of Duty campaign, so it wasn't going to be that long to begin with. Let's see if I can keep it rolling. And I went on to play... oh, and then I was like, I'm going to cheat. Sort of. I was like, I have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I got it at launch, but I haven't played it. So, and it has a campaign, and, you know, that's really the reason I got it anyway, so I'm going to play through that campaign. I don't expect this to be long or difficult. And I was kind of right. I don't... Yeah. Who are they? NetherRealms? They're still the king of sort of narrative fighting games. Because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite... I mean, I guess the story is fine.
I watched a
for
stream
what
of that,
it
and I agree,
is.
Trioptical. Story, not so much.
Yeah. Well, it's not just story. It's just like the way they integrate the fights into it. Just it's so good in like Mortal Kombat and the Injustice games, but then with the Capcom ones, it's just been kind of like, it's okay. it's workable. Because like a lot of the fights in Marvel vs. Capcom end up being you fighting against a bunch of like Ultron Sigma droids.
Yay.
So it's just like two of you, and then you just fight these things that don't matter and aren't very powerful. Occasionally they sort of mix it up with so for example, the Kingdom of Wakanda gets combined with the Monster Hunter Kingdom.
Well, that's not
So
really
this
a
place
kingdom.
called Valkanda, and like
And a probe.
Ultron Sigma invades, and then they awaken like one of the giant Monster Hunter monsters. But then I was like, okay, so how is this gonna work? Like, are we gonna fight it? And it was like, well, no. The way they did it is the monster is just attacking the city, and you just have to beat up all of the drones. I keep calling them droids. All the drones before the city's health bar is depleted to 0.
It would have been cool if you had to fight the monsters, though.
Yeah. Well, then it does, like, there are two super fan servicey type scenes in the game, and I feel like that is one of them, where Ryu and Hulk, like, just destroy this giant monster. I was like, that was awesome. You know, like, that is the kind of stuff we want to see. They are so right. What was the other one? I don't remember. But it was just like, when I saw those scenes, like, yep, totally worth it.
Well, I think the thing about like with a Marvel vs. Capcom game versus like a Mortal Kombat or like an Injustice, it's like, you know, it's a cohesive universe they have to work with, whereas like Marvel vs. Capcom is just two things thrown together.
That's true. But even
It's like,
still,
how do we
like,
make this excuse plot work?
like
We don't.
the thing is, a lot of the things, like the fights that happen in Mortal Kombat, like the first one, for example, they're just like really stupid, but it kind of works. Like there's the one where Johnny Cage keeps hitting on Sonya Blade, and then she's just like, "That's it," and then you have a fight.
Just like seems legit.
And I was like, that was super hokey, yet I kind of get it.
I mean, he was like that in the movie, really. It's just like, I'm just gonna hit on everything that moves.
Yeah, there's just like fights like that just happen. It's just like, you know, a small offense, and they let's fight, and then you're in a fight. I was like, this is crazy, but it kind of works. Whereas, like all of the fights in Marvel vs. Capcom, like the setups are these serious things, and then the fights themselves are just kind of like, well, I mean, were those guys ever really a threat? I mean, in the cutscenes we kill thousands of them.
Like literal thousands.
So I was like, I don't know. Plus, it's not as smooth. Like the Mortal Kombat, like NetherRealms are just so.
I mean, there's like a build up though of like the Mortal Kombat stuff, because you start with like just like the weird stuff like that, where like it's like some minor offense. It's like, okay, let's fight, to like effing. You get to like the realms merging, true. And like things are in peril, things are like happening. It's like, oh my gosh, I must fight you to do this thing, or it's the end of everything. Or it's like you're in that world with like the combat kids, and they're like, we have different, they do things differently here, and then like some street thief or whatever is like stealing something, and they're like, we're gonna cut off your hand or kill you or whatever, and it's like, you can't do that, and they're like, no, don't intervene, it's the law here, you're gonna get us in trouble, and it's like, I must, and then it's like, well, you just violated the blah 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 realm, blah 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 peace treaty, blah blah blah. It's Mortal Kombat. Fight to the death. And they're like, oh yeah? Yeah. Well, let's do it, because we're the combat kids. We can do this. And they're like, yeah, we beat you, but we're not going to kill you. We're going to spare you because we need your diplomatic pool to get this thing done, blah, blah, blah. So, suck it, Kodokan. Yeah.
That's his actual name?
Yep, Kodokan is his actual character.
He should fix that.
I don't know. It's just like, you know it when you see it. Something is just not as smooth with the ones that aren't made by NetherRealm so far. All right, so I finished that one. I was like, that was amazing. I finished 2 games. Let's keep going. And I went to finish Battlefield Hardline, which I had started like a long time ago.
Yep, that
but
was a long
had
time
never.
ago.
Yeah. And I just like, I don't know. I don't. I'm a strange person. I like games, but
he's not
like
wrong.
when I play them, I can't imagine a time when they will ever not feel like work to me.
Really, Tropical?
I mean, that's how I
kind
feel
of like
about
the
some
reverse
games,
way
though.
to be
It's
playing
like-
a game if you're thinking it's work.
Like
Well, no,
I
it's not
play
that, it's
when
just
I play
that
multiplayer games, it's like, you know, that feels like playing. But then when I'm trying to like finish games,
Okay.
which is like, that's a normal thing to do, right? Finish games
I mean,
that you
maybe
buy.
you're just like thinking about it as opposed to just like playing through it.
Yeah, because then it kind of feels like it's lasting forever, because it's like, oh my gosh.
When will it end? I just want it to end.
Oh my.
Also, not a good attitude to have when playing a game if you just went in, because it's probably not that good or dragging on, just saying. Because the best games, you never want to end. And then you get sad when you're at the end, and you're like, no, I don't want it to end. Oh.
Well, I think the best time, yeah, I never think like I don't want it to end either. I'm usually like either I want it to like, come on, let me finish, or is the other one. Or I'm just like not aware of it at all, and then it's like, oh, it's over. Like,
I don't think I ever
that's
have
pretty good.
I don't really ever have like the I don't want it to end thing either. Just hear that other people say that, but like there's just like a point at like where it's just like so good. It's just like, man, this is so good. I'm just like so sucked in and just keeps going. It's just like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
good. And then like you just eventually get to it and it's like, man, that was a good game.
So yeah, like Battlefield Hardline, I was just like, I'm gonna stick it out, and I'm just gonna finish it, and
Burning.
and then I lost my train of thought. My wife just said something's burning.
Oh no!
It was, and I was like, oh, that's not a big deal.
It's like it's only the house. It's fine. It's fine. It's like
I'm a strange person. Trioptical, aimlesspodcast.com. Back in the podcast quote, 2017.
It's not wrong.
My wife just said something
It's
funny.
not
That's what
I am,
wrong.
I am completely correct about that. Oh yeah, so I was like, in my mind, I was trying to sort of lessen the stress of finishing the game. It's like, okay, so how am I going to do it? It's like, well, I'm going, like, I know there's like case files that you can find and all this extra stuff, and I'm just not going to worry about any of that. You know, if I see it, I'll take it, but if I don't see it, I'm not going to go looking for them. But then I ended up doing them anyway. It just, yeah. But yeah, the game, when you play it stealth style, like, it's basically Metal Gear Solid.
What?
It's but in first person, because like you have that move where if you sneak up on
I
someone,
think that was your tweet. Actually, you're like, this is just like Metal Gear Solid.
yeah,
or something. I
this
was
is
like,
Metal Gear Solid. Because you
I need
can
to play this game.
you can like flash your badge at people if you catch them unawares, and then they'll like surrender basically, and then you got to keep your gun pointed at them as you go up and you handcuff them, and then they're just like taken out of the fight. And I was like, this is exactly what you do in Metal Gear.
It's like, this isn't suspiciously similar at all.
And it's also a stealth thing. Like you, if they see you, then you can't flash your badge at them because they're already pointing their guns at you, and it's not going to really block many bullets.
So you like sneak up behind them and then put your badge in their face? That's your
Yeah,
that's
it's like, I got
really-
to jump on you.
I
And they're like,
think it works like that in real life.
shit.
That will still get
No,
you
like-
shot.
That's the thing. Like, it's really unrealistic because, yeah, that's just not how it works. And yet, you know, it sort of like when you're doing it in Metal Gear, like even though it's not realistic, it sort of feels like you're doing this awesome thing that maybe could be real. And yeah, like it's sort of the same in Battlefield. What else was there? I don't know. You should check it out. You can sort of do the same things though, because the AI is sort of Metal Gear style, so you can see the vision cones, and so if you're slightly out of range, a clearly visible person a little bit too far, and they're just like, they just don't see you. And then
There's a speck over there, but that can't be a person.
yeah, and then like they'll see their downed teammates and then be like, "Uh-oh, that guy's down," or they'll see like, "What's that?" and they'll go over to it, and then you just flash your badge on that guy, and you'll be like, and then
He's like, "Oh no, I've been,
it
I've been surprise attacked."
feels like piles of like sleeping soldiers that I have in Metal Gear, except it's a pile of handcuffed dudes.
That's how I play Metal Gear, except everyone's dead instead.
It was really funny. But yeah, it was like, oh, this is quite fun. So I beat that, and the story is sort of ridiculous. But yeah, it got to the end. So for most of the game, I was doing Super Cop style, and I by that I mean I would go into a stronghold, and then my partner would be like off somewhere else, and it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna try to sneak in and find evidence or whatever it is I'm doing there, and then I'll just go in.
My backstory is,
and there'll be, you know, however many bad guys there are, 15, whatever. And I'll just like go around and like flash my badge and then put handcuffs on and do that to every single person in the warehouse or wherever it is I am. And I was like, yeah, super cop. But it got to the end, and it was probably that like, oh, when is it going to end? And I just stopped doing that, and I justified it by saying, like, you know, plot-wise, I think it's gotten to the point where I would not be doing this anymore. I would go in, you know, it's turning into Jason Bourne. So I'm just going to go in there and bring the biggest, most powerful sniper rifle I have.
and go to town.
Like, snipe them from a distance. And so, yeah, like the last 2 or 3 levels, like that's what I did. It was like, nope, I don't even think I'm a cop anymore at this point. So like, what right do I have to arrest these people? So yeah, everybody died in the end. And I was like, nope, it's with the story, so it's okay.
It's okay.
You'll
like this
if
all
you play
makes
it,
sense.
you'll see what I mean. So yeah, I beat Hardline. Then so that's 3. Then I was like, okay, Tearaway. I started it the other day. I think I will finish it because it seems pretty fun, and it was super fun. I had no idea what the ending was going to be. I knew that the ending was like the messenger who you play. Well, you
Dies horribly.
control the messenger, but you don't actually play the messenger. Like, you are you, and the messenger is the messenger who responds to your controls. And it gets very like fourth wall breaking, which was super awesome. Like, there's some sequences like, wow, I had no idea this was in here. And yeah, then when you get the message, it was sort of like, I can't remember that game. It was Peter Molyneux's mobile game, which wasn't really a game. It was just like you tapped.
Oh, the
you
cube
tapped,
one, where you're just
Yeah.
like tapping away at the cube.
and you know, the inside of that was supposed to be some sort of mind-blowing, life-altering message,
But it wasn't.
and
It was just a-
kind of maybe it could
just a
have been,
cube.
but yeah. And then, so you know, I was expecting like. Well, I had no idea what to expect. Like, I always wonder, like, how do you come up with something like that for your game? And then I saw the ending. I was like, wow, you know what? That was really good. I approve.
Do you have your ult?
Yes. And so, yeah, Tearaway Unfolded was really great. And now I want to go and finish the Vita one, which I also never finished, which was just called Tearaway. But yeah, it used the PS4, basically every feature of the PS4 that makes the PS4 unique. And it's like, just like the Vita game, except for PlayStation 4. Cool. And then the next game, I was like, all right, this might be cheating, but I'm not sure, but I want to try this game out. And it was Bound, which...
Oh, the one about the pregnant lady who's being a bad mother. Yay.
That was all I could think about in the beginning. It was like RPG saying, oh yeah, it's about the bad mother dreaming about being a bad mother. And I was like, is it?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, the thing is, the game is very confusing. And also, I thought it was a game about dance, but actually it's not. It's just a game about something else. Your character just happens to dance. Like, that's just the way she moves.
It is very
And I was like,
unusual.
that's really cool, because the thing is, you know, when you make a movie with like live action and like people and stuff, like, walking is gonna look like walking because that's how people move. But then, you know, in a game, like, if you don't make it, nothing exists. So why does walking have to look like walking? You can literally make it look like anything. And yeah, they just went for dance, and I was like, this is cool. I approve of this.
So is Bound the Bollywood title of PlayStation games?
No, like, it's not a huge. That's the thing. Like, the dancing.
Okay, it's secondary because that's just your movement. It's not the
Yeah,
entire
it's like totally
experience.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like, there is no, as far as I can tell, there is no reason that she dances.
She's
It's
a
not
ballerina
saying
princess,
anything about
obviously.
dance. It's just like that's how she moves.
It's like he doesn't even know things. He doesn't even.
So I was like, yeah, that's really neat. So I finished that one. Oh, and so like that part was really cool. And then second, I tried to play it in VR, but on the default settings, I was sitting in a office chair, and I was just like spinning around, and like the cord was getting all wrapped around me, and I just had no idea my orientation in the real world. And it's just like, yeah, the default settings for this are not great for VR. Because it's like they developed it, and they were just like, oh, we don't care that you have a cord. This is going to be amazing, but you will be wrapped up in your cord, and we don't care because this is more amazing.
They really don't care.
Yeah, if you're able to, and I guess the other thing is they did it for comfort. So yeah, if you're gonna play Bound in VR, turn off the default settings and switch it to, I think it's called Smooth 1 or 2, and that puts the camera. It follows the main character. And in default, the camera is just placed somewhere in the world, and you sit there, and then she is just like moving off into the distance, and then every time she's like too far for you to see, you have to push the right stick again to like move up to where she is, and it's just like a blink teleport to where she is, and then she moves off again, and then you can blink teleport again. It's like, and then she's not always in front of you. It was not. It was very difficult to play. So I finished that one. That's 5. And then today I was going to start Titanfall 2, but there was like a ton of updates. So I could not start it when I wanted to. And so I was like, okay, I'll try to beat Super Meat Boy. That's not happening very soon. That game is hard. And so I was like, okay, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. I got this, and I haven't finished it. Let's play it and finish it. And it's like, I guess it's like Contra. It's like that kind of game, a side-scrolling shooter, but you're on foot. And
Contra.
yeah, yeah. But usually when they say it's side-scrolling shooters, they mean like the spaceships,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like Gradius or R-Type.
Yeah. So it's like Contra, except you can't aim up or down or anything like
Just
that.
want to
You
point
can
out
only aim
all 3 of those are Konami properties. Go after yourself, Konami.
Oh my.
Because
Wait, R-Type is not
You're not
Konami?
in. Oh wait, maybe R-Type's not, but I bet
Right.
Gradius
The other
and
two are.
Contra. You know he did Konami. You know you did.
You do know what you did. You do know what you did. Or do you?
It's a crazy story about a mobster during the era of Prohibition, and some dude makes zombies, maybe on purpose or maybe by accident, and so the city is overrun by zombies, and then you gotta go find this guy for your boss or whatever, and and so it's like zombies and also other mobsters, and then later you fight the army, and
What?
This all sounds
it's fun.
insane.
I liked it. You get lots of different types of weapons, which was really fun. So you start off and you just have like a regular handgun, and then you get, like your Magnum type gun. It's 2 different types of shotguns. One that's more powerful but only has 2 shots, and then one has more shots but is less powerful. Then you get things like mounted machine guns that you're running around with, and like Tesla cannons, and like flamethrowers, and just rocket launchers, and just like lots of stuff that you can switch between whenever you want, as long as you have ammo. And it was like, it's crazy, but it was like, it was good. It has 4-player co-op, but I had no one to co-op with. I have no idea what that's going to be like. It's just going to have tons and tons of zombies. But the thing with tons and tons of zombies is you can just use your grenades and blow up huge bunches of them. Don't know. But yeah. So that's 6. But then that thing I was talking about earlier, I've been telling RPG which games I finished when we play Paragon, and he's been like vetoing some of them. He's like, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite doesn't count because it's a fighting game and nobody plays those for campaigns, or they don't have real campaigns. Bound is maybe too short. I don't know. But yeah, he was saying something like, I think I finished 6, maybe. And he's saying that I only finished 3. And I thought about it as like, maybe this is good, you know, like, I need to slow down the rate at which I buy games. And this will definitely slow it down. Because if you think about it, I finished 6 games. Like, that's sort of ridiculous. I told my wife, and she was like, wow, so you can finish games. And I was like, huh, even she knows.
I was like, even she is surprised.
So, yeah, maybe. Well, I'm going to keep trying to get to 10 games by Friday, which is going to be tough because that's like 1 day away. I don't think I can actually do it. But maybe I can get to 5 under RPG standards. Now, at one point I was thinking, it's like, well, so I want Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
And I also want Skyrim VR.
Yeah.
I was like, so these are the 2 games that I want. Well, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a shooter that people will primarily play for multiplayer, but has a single-player campaign. And I was like, huh, I think I have a bunch of those. I was like, okay, so I will finish all of those, and then I can get Battlefront 2. So I started looking like, well, Call of Duty World War II is one of those, Battlefront Hardline, Battlefront 1, or not Battlefront, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2 is one of those. Well, there were others, and I was like, okay, so that's a collection, and if I finish those, then it will feel like justified. And then Skyrim VR was like, well, Skyrim VR I primarily want because it's VR. So maybe for that one, I would just finish 5 VR games. RPG's like, no.
I did not accept his rationale.
I was like, those aren't real games? VR games aren't real games?
Oh, my thing
Yeah.
crashed.
Anyways, so that is what I've been playing and finishing for like the first time in forever.
Yay!
I'm kind of curious on Battlefront as far as like looking at feedback I've seen as far as like people getting angry at like all the hero characters are like, you know, locked behind all the padded content in the game. It's like I wonder if they like because I didn't know the game was gonna get free. I mean, I guess I forgot I was gonna get free DLC, but now I'm like wondering like what type of free DLC as far as like because I didn't know it was gonna be like story content. So I'm like curious if they're gonna like do anything with like the already established heroes, or it's just gonna be Erden, Versio, or whatever that for name is content for like single player stuff. Because that would be kind of a waste of resources to have all those Star Wars characters and then like no single player content or them in that game, which they've like built up after the first disaster of a game to be like, oh, look how much better it is, and then like, you want to play these characters? You can only play multiplayer. Suck it. So yeah, we'll see.
Suck it.
It's like, can they just, like if they had like every hero character has like their own like chapter or like arc of like something in single player. It's like, I would buy that. I'd buy that. But no, it's probably not the case because EA is evil. So yeah,
It
just
really is.
mismanaged, very mismanaged at this point. I would say from all the anonymous sources out there on the internet. So, what have you been playing?
Oh, just the usual things. The usual things. Well, I've been slowly making my way through Trails of Cold Steel 2. I keep forgetting what the actual title of that series
Did you
is.
finish that game already? I thought you already finished that.
I finished the first one.
Oh.
Because remember how that one took like 91 hours or some nonsense, and then it's like, yay, the sequel's coming out. Mistakes are made.
Is that one also on Vita? Or is it on PS4?
It is on Vita. The third one is the one that got moved to PS4. Because
Ew.
they were like, no more Vita, because they Scarlet Witched it, and they were like, nope. So whenever it does get localized, it'll be on the PS4. But yeah, this series, I mean, I enjoy it, but part of me feels like Tropical when he plays games. It's like it feels like it's a little bit of work when I'm trying to play, because I'm like, okay, as much as I'm enjoying this game is incredibly long, like incredibly long, and because there's so much like politics and stuff going on, I only like half pay attention because I'm not like a huge fan of politics. So I'm just like, but still I like the characters and stuff. So it's like I have like mixed feelings about the whole thing because I was like, I love the battle system, I love the characters and everything. It's like I can do without some of the politics and stuff, but it's like overall though, it's like the game is really good and it's like I enjoy it, but it's like it's so long. It's just so long. Because the last one, I think I had started playing it, then I stopped, and then I actually picked it up a year later, and then started playing it again. And when I eventually finished it, because when I started playing it again, I saw my save file. I was like, wait, from October, and I was like, it's October now, and I was like, so I ended up finishing. So I had picked it up like a full year after the fact to go and finish it. So I was like, jeez. So it was, yeah. But then I eventually like went all the way through, and it's like I finished at 91 hours. But I'm assuming this was probably going to be just as long. But it's like, it's so long. And the worst part is it's not even like long because of padding. It's like they actually put all of this content into it. So it's just like, oh my gosh, why? Why are you doing this to me? So the games are incredibly long. I think actually all of like the ones in it, because there's the other series too. I think that now has a sequel. Was it Trails in the Sky? I think is that one. The other one, but yeah, they're all like incredibly long.
Man, now I'm like just like wishing that like Telltale would do like a shonen style game of like 25 to 50 episodes of a season. It's like it's not ending, but there's no filler. It's all story arc. Oh, that would be amazing. Oh man.
Could anyone handle that kind of thing?
The suspense though on like waiting for episodes would be terrible, but the payoffs, oh my goodness.
I would wonder how they would have to do like a release schedule for
Like,
that though, because
like
there's no way
monthly
they'd be able to do
thing,
what
'cause
they
that's, like,
do
years of
now.
making. That's not even like
Yeah.
going to make it in a year if they do.
Because they'll probably have to make it like it'll have to be like an episode like every few weeks or something. Otherwise,
Unless
it's
they have,
like
multiple
they'll
episodes
never
at
be
once.
done.
It's like an entire arc
Yeah.
when they have releases.
Because it would just be so basically you would be getting like a full Telltale game like each time they release, because it would be like
man.
5 episodes
That would
a
be
pack or something like
delicious.
that. And they're like, we have no choice. 'Cause
Yes, they need to like team with some Japanese art anime producer or something. Oh man, if it's Ghost in the Shell, oh, that'd be delicious.
I mean, that's a series that
I am putting that
opens
on
itself
my
up for that kind of
wish for
stuff.
E3
So.
next year. Doing it. Telltale collaboration with some Japanese person or entity. Make it happen. Shonen Dream Game.
They might actually already be working on it. I mean, they like to like have random projects going on. And like, by the way, guys, we're also doing this now.
Who knew we were going to get the last season of Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us in the same year? And now that's out the door. It's like, it's fair game, I guess, because that was like their big money thingy, apparently, from the story I read on US Gamer. It was like, however many millions, and then that was like their big thingy. And they're like, time to start pumping them out. And then they got weighed down by mismanagement, just like EA. Curses.
Haha. And we're back. But I mean with Telltale though, because like I feel like they have like their flagship kind of series, but then the other series are kind of like to keep you busy, so you don't notice the fact that the other like the Walking Dead one's taking like a while to come out for. They're like, but have this in the meantime. So it's like, but I mean, even still, I mean, they're still like good quality. So it's not like they're just giving you crap in the meantime, but it's like it's still good quality stuff in the meantime. But it's not like they're headliners kind of thing. So it's not like The Walking Dead and that kind of thing. But then you get gems like Tales of the Borderlands, which was just hilarious and great, and it's just wonderful. But yes.
Oh, also, just a side note about Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket Raccoon is totally a Kenny. It's pretty funny. I like noticed it at the end. I was like, I've been like going head to head with this guy the entire time. We've been butting heads, but he's still my bro. And I was like, this is. And I was like, wait a minute.
That sounds awfully familiar. I was.
This is a repeated behavior scenario. I noticed this happen before. He's a Kenny now.
Which I keep warning you about, and you're all like, "No, Kenny's my bro. I have to do." It's like, no.
Except it was like an opposite, because like he was my bro, but I kept like being a jerk to him because like he was being a jerk back to me, and it's like he's had bad ideas. Like I was like, no, Rocket, that's a bad idea. And he's like, well, we'll quill. I was like, no, stop it. It's like just man, the banter is just so good, so good. I finally like stood up to McKinney, but it was Rocket Raccoon, and I was like, I felt bad because I like Rocket Raccoon, so yeah, it's weird.
Disappointed in you. Because
and then we had that bro moment where like everybody else left me, but Rocket stayed with me. I was like, yeah, because he's my bro. But we're the only ones here. But
I mean, Rocket, he was pretty loyal in the movies. I mean, yes, he was a jerk face all the time because you know of who he was, but he was pretty loyal, even if he was trolling people and stuff. Half the time.
That totally happens too. It's I'm not gonna say what happens, but he does one of those things where it's like,
oh, does he?
Thingy, and he doesn't need to do his thing. It's like, are you serious? This is not the time to be doing this, Rocket. Oh my goodness.
That was pretty funny though. He's like, and I also need that guy's leg. It's like, what? I enjoyed that movie. I still need to see the second one though. I'm like so behind. I'm so behind on the Marvel universe of movies. But yes. But so other than Cold Steel 2, I've also been playing Cold Step Saga or Cold Step Revolt, or I forget what's the. Yeah, I think it's Cold Step Revolt. Yes. Because that's my card Monopoly game.
That's correct.
Cold Step Revolt. So we've kind of been. That one's been pretty fun. The battles are starting to get a bit more complicated now. So now the bad guys or the people you're playing against, because sometimes you play against your allies too for whatever reason, but they're starting to like some of their cards or their monsters are having like strange abilities and stuff that they can add on while they're like posted in their things and stuff that like boost up their rent on the spaces, I guess you would call it. And there's an actual term in the game, but I forgot it, and it's Monopoly, so I just like it's rent. It's fine. But yeah, and then you can do that or boost their abilities or have like some kind of weird thing where they turn into completely different monsters just randomly and all this other stuff. So it's like okay, I have to like work on so I'm like doing like some side fights so that way I can boost up my deck and everything. So that way I can like get some weird monsters and stuff too. So that way I'm not like the only one with just like normal stuff. And it's like, who does that? So yes, I am still enjoying that, but now the battles are getting more difficult and I have to actually strategize properly. So fun times. And I think the only other thing else I was playing was Knights of Azure 2, which I've gotten through, I think, like 4 chapters or so. So it should be almost done. Because the first one was, I think, was like 6 or 7 chapters or something like that. So I should be fairly close to finishing that one as well, with all the wonderful girl-on-girl fan serviciness going on and all that fun stuff, which we all love. So, you know. That is pretty much it.
Okie dokie.
Bathing suits.
Tips. We're gonna do a quick tips. So I looked up
in that game.
They do. Actually, you can change the characters and her teammate into them, so they can fight in their bathing suits.
Sinran Kagura.
Yeah, they do not skimp on the fan service. They're like, this is happening and you're going to enjoy it. It's like,
Are they
thank
destructible
you, I
bathing
guess.
suits?
They are not.
Because then it's not Senran Kagura if it's not.
No, it's not. It's not destructible. They just put them in situations where it's like, "Ooh, let me examine you while you're in your bathing suit," and then the other girl's all like, "This is so awkward. What? How would you feel if I did it to you?" And then she's like, "I'm okay with it." She's like, "Oh, well then, well then."
It has begun. Yeah, we're gonna do a quick tips. So I looked up Ace Dog's other song, and it has no lyrics.
Wait, what?
So I was like, okay, that doesn't work. So, was it clear that we needed lyrics?
Well, yeah, because you said we had in the thing you said we had to turn the song
like
lyrics into
inspired
our
by the
questions.
lyrics,
I mean,
yeah.
so, I mean, it has no lyrics. It's pretty impossible to do that.
Does that mean we're doing Space Jam? Are we doing
That
Space
means we're
Jam
doing
this week?
Space Jam.
Yes!
He was
And
hoping
Space
we would
Jam
do Space Jam.
is
Golden Age
awesome
classic.
because like it is like the hype song for the Space Jam.
And now see what you did. See what you did. See what you did.
It's a classic. I'm sorry.
It.
It is a classic, though. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Come on in, Jay, and welcome to the slam. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I figured what the topic could be. You know, Space Jam is basically the hype song for the Space Jam.
Well, yes.
Whatever that may be.
That is how that works.
So the question is, what game needs a hype song?
Or has one.
Or
Like,
has one?
Indestructible. That's his favorite hype song of hype songs.
What game needs one? I mean, how can you? I mean, any game that needs one doesn't need one. It probably already has one. So it's like, I mean, come on. Every game has like a theme song, and like if it's got a crappy
Actually-
theme, then I guess it needs one.
I do agree
Even
with this.
even Horizon has it. It has like that sweet acapella, like.
It's true. It's like Horizon Zero Dawn. Having robot dinosaurs in the butts.
It's like got some lady on it, so something like and like the instruments kick in. And it's like and she's still like it's like, oh, it's so good, so good.
I don't remember that song, but I'm going to take your word for it.
It's like the main menu. It's like before you push any buttons to start the game. It's like if you just leave it there on the thingy on the screen. It's like, yeah, it's playing already. It's like it's there. That's the one. The main theme. I don't know if it's the main theme, but it's like it's that song. Yeah.
It's one of the themes or something. I mean, my
Not
thing.
that it was like the song that was playing in Aloy's Focus when she was training, though. That was a completely different song. She doesn't need a hype song,
Obviously.
though, 'cause she's so awesome.
Oh wait, you're talking about in the training montage?
Yep. Maybe it was Space Jam. Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Space Jam.
But what if it was?
I'm about 90% sure on that one. About 90%.
Oh, wow, yeah, like what scenes in games would be better with the Space Jam theme song playing?
Huh.
I'm trying to think of. That's not. I don't think that's something we can come up
Yeah, that would
with
be
right
weird.
off the top of our heads.
But in terms of theme songs, though, I do enjoy when games have great theme songs because it kind of gets you in that mood where it's just like, yeah, we're doing stuff, and it's like it's pretty great. Because I mean, because as a matter of fact, I think I'd like tweeted out during the time I was playing like Persona 5 or whatever. Whenever you get to like the end of the heist or something, it plays like a modified version of the main theme, and it's all like ramped up and everything. I'm just like, yeah, we're doing it. We're taking your heart. And it's like you get all into it, and you're all like, yes, this is happening. So I feel like it's kind of like like stuff like that is kind of important in games because it's like it kind of sets the mood for when you're playing, because otherwise it's like if it's just like either if it's like a mismatch song or something and you're just like I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it, guys. I don't feel like completing this objective you gave me because you didn't set me up properly. Or maybe the lack of music can be like a mood setter actually. So maybe that's like I don't know. Are there any games where it's like they just turn off the music completely and it's just like, oh yeah, stuff's about to go down because there is no music playing?
I don't think so. I think they just play like slow, intense music in that. It's like happy, bubbly Final Fantasy X-2 stuff, but it has like I mean, not to say it doesn't have like good songs or a theme because it has like the whole.
Whoa!
This is my
10-2 had sad songs in it.
No, I'm just saying like 10 doesn't have like the
because 1,000 words says hi.
Happiness of 10-2. It just has like the good stuff in it. Like it has the hymn of the faith, which is all like something blah blah blah. And it's got like other awesome tunes in it, but it doesn't have like, a hype. It doesn't have like a hype theme song.
Of those
Space Jam
themes
style
at all. Well, what can I do for you?
It does have that's in 10-2 RPG.
I know. That I was making the connection there.
But you could totally put some Space Jam in it and be like, oh yeah, who needs What Can I Do For You or 1,000 Years?
Oh yeah, when you guys are like fighting Sin or something, then like Space Jam just ramps up and it's like, all right guys, we're doing this. We're doing this.
Those have pretty good battle themes, but
Lulu's like, oh yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready. No more stoicism. The song has got me hyped, guys. This song has got me hyped. Go Cactar doll, go! It's like, whoa, Lulu's like really going all in today. What is happening with her? It's just weird.
It's the Space Jam.
Oh my gosh, I feel it too now. It's like, oh dear. The enemies are just like, what's happening with the summoner and her guardians over there? They're like, what is happening? It's like they are just like really going in right now. Like, oh my god. It's like that Titus guy keeps doing backflips for some reason and asking me if I lift. I don't know what he means. I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know.
But yeah, I'd say it'd be stuff like that has like there's like a theme, but then like the theme for it is probably like slow and moody and not like all happy and super hypey like Space Jam. So like the Splinter Cell, I think it's Conspiracy. It's the one before Blacklist. Like that one has like really good theme, but it's all like slow and moody, and it's like it's good, but it's not hypey like the Space Jam song. It's very I'm trying to get it in my brain, but it's like very slow and moody and just I can't think of it, but I will try to look it up on my phone real quick. Because I know it's like really good, but then I'm like, oh yeah, it's like or something. It's like really slow, but it's really good, but it's like not super hype, awesome Space Jam-iness. So yeah, stuff like that.
Well, we need new TIbPS songs, so if anyone is out there and would like to get a $5 gift card for stumping us...
Are you not entertained? Are you not
PSN.
entertained?
I mean, Destiny 2 doesn't actually have one either, because Destiny 1 has like the Sephiroth... Oh, I mean, it's not the Sephiroth song by RPG. Whenever you play, you'd be like... Sephiroth! On the Fallen. I think it's the Fallen theme, where like it starts off with like the bass guitars like...
I mean, in all fairness,
builds up to, like, the crescendo.
It's basically the Sephiroth theme. Let's not lie to ourselves. it's basically the Sephiroth thing. Come on.
Like, and then like you have like the sweet Servitor Prime theme. I think after Rise or Taken King or Rise of Iron, like they have the second theme for that, and it's just like oh so good. I can't remember what it is, but it's like oh it's so good. And then yeah, Destiny 2 not so much. It's very sad and depressing and slow, like I just said of the other games that do that, because it's towers destroyed, we're all dead, we have enemy light, oh man, we got defeated, and then yeah, it doesn't really pick up after that, because yeah.
Oh my, that sounds very dark and depressing.
There's
Actually,
there's the whole song that plays when you're leaving the tower after it gets blown up, and it's all like, dun, dun. It's all sad. It's like, man, we just got our asses kicked. I'm trying to
how does
think.
that
Oh
make
yeah,
you
like when you leave,
feel?
when you get to the third or the first. Wow, I can't even think what it's called. But like you get to that place and you see all the other dead guardians that didn't make it, and then it's like you get attacked, but you have like you get like one gun and like no abilities, and it's like don't die. And you just play that
Don't
music.
die.
Like, oh man.
Well.
Oh man.
I'll try to not do that then. Thanks for the tips.
And it was like super cool, and they added the Rise of Iron stuff to the Iron Banner that week, and it was like playing the Axis music towards the end of the match, and you get like super pumped, or just like super like epic at the end of like a match. It was like close, it's like and, like it kicks in, and it's like yeah, oh it's going down. That was cool. But yeah, there's no super hypey, happy, awesome Destiny 2 theme.
Yet. Maybe the Osiris one will bring in some cool Egyptian-y themed theme or something. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, this is my jam. Walk like an Egyptian indeed, man. Walk like one. So yeah. Please be excited.
Actually, that is weird because like all the raids had like really good themes for like the boss encounters, but I think the Callus one is lacking compared to them.
I can't think of the music at all in Destiny 2.
I can only think of the tower music where it's like because like the first time you get there and it's all
yeah.
like, yay, the towers are woken, back at the tower. Didn't know the towers in the game because they built Microsoft too. Oh man. It's all happy and like and just running around the tower doing stuff, and it's like, oh man,
It sounds like the Addams Family theme.
There's no in it though.
Yet. The destiny. Do-do-do-do. Clap, clap.
But yeah, next week is Black Friday after Thanksgiving, and so somehow, if you're listening to this and you don't have a PS4 yet, there are some pretty good deals. Well, they already announced, so PS4 is going to be $200.
It's gonna be great, man, because they're gonna have some super cheap ones. You have no reason not to have one at this point.
It's weird because, I guess because the PS3 generation was so long, it doesn't like PS4 still feels kind of new. It doesn't feel like it's the end. But if it was a typical generation length, like this is kind of the end.
Yeah, it's
getting to the point where the prices are like for the general public and not the enthusiasts anymore.
Maybe it's because of the Pro and X.
Maybe.
Yeah. Also that
They
too.
reintroduce the hardware so they can drop the base units down farther.
And then get rid of them and then make it so it's only the Pro and the X's on the shelves, and then they're like, now you have no choice but to buy them.
Yeah,
Because
as
this
far as
is
I
the
can tell.
darkest
Or it's
time
like,
to
it's a trap because now you have a 4K TV, but does your console play 4K visuals? It doesn't.
And you're like, it doesn't. It doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, there aren't any deals on Pro.
Darn.
So it really is.
You already have a PS4.
It really is about keeping the prices, the average price high,
RPG.
but having
I could
low
have
price entry
better
points for
quality
people to
streaming or
join.
something. ... Which means even better. Sure, but
Yeah. It's amazing how many times like the console itself is its own selling point.
I could
not
share
about the
button.
games.
Look at this amazing super sampled screenshot. It's not 4K, but still.
Yeah, there's a lot of game deals as well this year. Have Have you targeted
I
anything?
haven't even looked at any because I'm not a physical disc purchaser. So I was like, I'm just gonna check the store to update and see what they have.
Well, there will be a store update. There will be a digital PSN sale, though we don't know anything about it yet, so that kind of sucks. As far as like physical games, then Assassin's Creed Origin has been out less than a month at this point. $35. World War II is going to be $45. Destiny 2 will be $30, although that one's older. What else is newer? Need for Speed Payback will be $35. Overwatch will be $30. South Park: The Fractured But Whole will be $30. Evil Within 2 will be $30. The Sims 4, which I don't think is even out yet on consoles, is going to be $35.
It's not out yet.
Yeah. Wolfenstein 2 will be $30. Those are the ones I see here. So it's like there's a lot of new games that are going to be pretty cheap, and those aren't. I don't even think those are the lowest prices. Those are the sort of typical prices, like the average prices for those games for the season. You will probably be able to get them even lower, which is great, I guess.
Also, DualShocks are gonna be on sale.
Yeah, DualShocks will be $40.
I saw that. I was like, yeah, I didn't buy the see-through ones before they went on sale. Yeah, I can get one now.
Yep.
And say it's as empty on the inside as I am when I play Destiny 2. Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, those are from consoles. I think I saw Switch earlier. Where is it though?
I'd be surprised if there's a deal on the Switch.
Actually, I don't think. Maybe it wasn't on Switch. Yeah, it's for sale. It's one of those sales.
We're still not on sale.
Yep. PS Plus is supposed to be on sale somewhere. $10 off. So if you missed the last week GameStop PSN or PS Plus last week at GameStop was $40. $20 off. Yeah, they'll be a little bit cheaper. Also, hardware. So PS4 is going to be the 1 terabyte one is $200, and also PlayStation VR will be $200. So if you want to get VR, that will also be cheap too.
Is that the new updated one or is it the old one?
I'm not sure. I don't know which. I imagine it could be the new one, because the new one's supposed to come out at the same price. And it really is about getting lots of VR. Like on our news, we had the Skyrim VR bundle, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a Skyrim one, a Doom one.
Yeah, they just announced a Doom one.
Gran Turismo Sport one. Those are 3 I know of.
So a lot of VR bundles. If you want to jump on VR, it's cheap-ish. Cheaper right now. Yeah, then there's like older games that are significantly cheaper. Like Bloodborne is $15. Well, I guess not that much cheaper. Deadpool you can get for $12.
It's so funny, that game was on sale for like, I want to say $10 on the store, but then it went up to like $11.99 or something. I was like, I'm not buying that. I was like, it went up $1 or something on the store like within a week, and I was like, why did it do that? I was going to buy it, but then I was like, I felt cheated, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy it because it's on sale for 10, and I'm not going to pay more than 10. So, and like, it was weird. I had like this weird mini freak out about it. It was weird. But I didn't buy it. I have it on Steam already, so I was like, I have this game.
Final Fantasy 15 is going to be 15 at Target.
Ooh.
You don't have that one yet.
And the co-op.
Horizon is going to be $20.
The best game of the year so far for me.
Get Horizon, people.
Actually, isn't there like a... I saw there was like a bundle for that coming out with a DLC in it or something. The complete edition or something.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything like that yet.
I saw something about that.
The Last of Us Remastered will be 15, although that game is already generally pretty cheap. Madden 18, which is this year's, will be 30. Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, a Telltale game series, will be 15 at Best Buy. Shadow of War will be 30. Neo will be 19 at Walmart.
That one's fun.
I do want that one, but I heard there's a collection
Yeah,
one.
there's a complete edition coming out for that.
Complete edition.
Project Cars 2 will be 30 at Best Buy. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which came out in January, is going to be 15 at Target. Cheap. Wow, yeah. The Sims 4, 30 at Walmart.
I want to be cheap when I grow up.
Sonic Forces will be $10 off at 30.
The one that just came out?
Yep.
I mean, no. No. No.
Tekken 7 will be $19 at Walmart.
No.
Uncharted 4 will be 20. Until Dawn will be 15. Walking Dead Season 3 is 15. Wolfenstein 2, 30. Yakuza Kiwami is 20.
Wait, Season 3 of Walking Dead is 15, you said?
Yep. At Best Buy.
Ew. Oh, I'm torn.
So yeah. It is, we haven't done this in a long time because the deals have not been that great. But these deals seem pretty good. So it's like games that basically just came out will be $20, $30 cheaper in a week and a half. Pretty crazy.
Actually, it's weird. They put out I was on the store and they have like a Walking Dead something collection with like season 1, 2, and 3, 400 days, and the Michonne game. It's like less than 60.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like 42.
That's coming out in December, I think, December 5th.
Yeah, and then like they have like the remastered season 1 or something weird, or whatever. I was like, what?
Didn't they already do that?
I don't know if it's out, but it's like I saw the trailer for it and I was like, how? Why? Whatever.
I didn't see that. That was not part of my news either.
I forgot what it's called, but it was like on the trailer. It's basically just enhanced graphics. I was like, but who plays a Telltale game for the graphics?
Everyone does, obviously.
Season 1 will look like Season 3?
Not that graphic.
High def Lee.
High def.
High def Lee.
Let me look it up. 'Cause it was weird. I was like,
I mean,
who is this for?
All right, well, I'll go into the news then, because that's the Black Friday stuff. It's you don't want to be too excited because it's just shopping. I'm trying to temper my excitement for shopping.
Just be excited.
I was hoping for pro deals, but there's no pro deals apparently, so now I'm sad.
I haven't seen any anyway, but I'm always excited to buy stuff. All right, so news, like the thing that seemed to dominate this week was all this talk about EA's microtransaction stuff and how that is sort of microtransactions, or just like talk about microtransactions in general. It seems, and like Battlefront 1 was like this too. If you were low level and had no cards or anything, it was really hard to fight people. Like you'd be walking around and suddenly you would just die from a rocket launcher, a homing rocket launcher, and you'd be like, those are in this game? and like sniper rifles, like those are in this game, and there was just like you keep dying from things you didn't know existed in the game because you didn't have them yet. And Battlefront 2 apparently is so it's still sort of the same, except now you can spend money, real money, and buy those things. And so that is what we call pay to win. If you care that much about winning in Battlefront, it would be very infuriating.
Which of course you do. Which of course you do.
And then on top of that, there was another story about, like, so the cool part about Battlefront 2 is there is nothing you have to buy with money. Everything in the game you can grind out as long as you're willing to grind. And so the other thing was, like, people discovered that in order to afford one hero character, it would take about 40 hours of grinding.
Gross.
So it's like, oh, you want Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader? It's like 40 hours of nonstop doing well in games in multiplayer, and then you can afford one of them. So I hope you got a favorite.
Yay!
So the news story around this was, it was on Reddit apparently. Like someone calculated this out, and then EA responded on Reddit, and they were like, "Oh yeah, because we balanced it so that people can have this sense of accomplishment when they unlock these characters." It was like, and so the news story around that was that response was the most disliked comment ever posted on Reddit.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I was like, it's like the most disliked thing on Reddit ever. I was like, well, they had to see that coming, because
I was like, wow, that's people care a lot about EA.
This has not been a good year for them. Like at all.
So, yeah, this microtransaction thing. Then it got, the way that stuff happens on the internet. Not excusing it, just saying that it happens a lot. Like, the death threats and all that. I was like, really, people?
Usual nonsense.
See, I'm confused because, like, didn't a bunch of people say Overwatch was the best game of last year, and then it had, like, microtransactions in it, right? Or loot boxes?
Well, not microtransaction, the way it's like.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's like, it's aesthetics only, but I'm just saying it's, like, the same thing, so it's like, why are you complaining now?
Well, now it's becoming this whole thing about loot crates. People are just like, loot crates are bad, like, because it's basically gambling, right? Mm-hmm. You pay real money, and then you get a mystery box.
Nothing comes out.
You get a mystery box, and then hope that you get a good thing.
Which people weren't happy about in Overwatch either, by the way, Tekken. So.
Oh, all I heard last year from Overwatch people was like, "This game is the best game ever. This game's so fun. Oh man, Blizzard, they're good." I just got sick of hearing about that game, and it was like all positive. So, like, I didn't even see the negativity about it, and then like I guess I was wrong. Whatever. But then everybody was like, "It's game of the year," and it was like, whatever. Why? What? This game has no story. This game, what? I was like, whatever, dude.
It does have a story, just not the game.
It's Trioptical. You know what I'm saying. I can't play through it if I buy the game.
Yeah.
I don't want any of your microtransaction. Or your loot box says, I'm not giving you any money after I buy the game. That's how it works. I buy the game, and I get all the content in the game, and if I don't, what the F? And I'm gonna get mad, type out on the internet, and be like, yay, Activision, Blizzard, all you, why are you doing all this stuff? Death threats and stuff. It's all your fault.
I love death threats. They're super fun.
Yeah. I'm fine with all this stuff.
Well, of course you are. You like spending money on crap.
But I don't actually, like, I don't actually buy anything. That's the thing. Like, I don't.
Yet.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah,
I
it's like
think.
to me, it's like I mean I at one point Mass Effect 3 multiplayer I did buy some premium factor packs to like get some sweet loot as opposed to grinding for it because at that point in my life I was like, well, I have more money than every time, so it's like, here you go, I love you so much, Barry, for this product you've given me. I want this biotic adapter or whatever the f I wanted. I don't even remember, but whatever. I'll take a risk. Here you go. I gotta have it. I'm an addict. You guys know me, Destiny 2. It's like, I gotta get it. Gotta grind. I mean, that's why I'm now. I just gotta grind for it. So I just grind it out, man. That's all I do now. It's like, it's like I'm not doing that again. I've been down that road, and I may not be any better, but I'm not gonna give you my money when I want the thingy. I'm just gonna grind for the thingy because that's how I roll now. That being said,
sometimes
it's like it's kind of a slippery slope when you get like one of the most popular games out, Overwatch, and it's like, oh, we got loot boxes, whatever, and then it's like, I guess people are like, hey, we can put that in our game too, and then like they don't incorporate it very well, and it's like the Battlefront 2 situation, and then people get very angry, and it's like, oh, well, they should have saw that coming. And then now it's kind of like a reaction to, oh, well, now that we effed up on that, how can we fix this? And then I guess I saw some adjustments they made or something as far as
So that 40-hour time thing, they cut it by like 75%.
Oh my.
So it's like, so that guy was just saying stuff like it was like, well, fine, you don't care about accomplishment, we're not going to give you that sense of accomplishment anymore, it's going to be easy. I don't know.
Fine.
I think to me that just kind of like speaks more to like the problem with the game as far as like people want to use these characters, and you can only use them in multiplayer. Like nobody wants to play Eden Versio or whatever the F her name is like in that campaign. People want to play Darth Vader, Yoda, Skywalker, Darth Maul, blah blah, all those awesome hero characters. They don't play this like new who the F is this lady character. But hey, whatever, this is what we got. So
Yeah, they want to play the chosen one, man.
thanks for spiting your face to save your nose again, EA, and then also not solving the problem unless further down the line you're going to give us the sweet free DLC of all these characters and some sweet story content. But you're probably not, because your mismanagement issues. I read about them on the internet. I read the internet. I don't know if you know this, but I'm on the internet every day and I read things, and I've seen I've seen the alleged stories about your mismanagement in your studios. So I don't think it's gonna happen. Nah, prove me wrong. Nah.
Don't prove him wrong.
But I'm one of the scorned people from Battlefront 1. So you're never gonna get my money. I mean, unless it's like $20 for the Ultimate Edition, like a year from now or something. So $20. Joel G Gundam roll, $20 pass. Anything more than that, you're not getting it. At least after you've wronged me like you did with Battlefront 1, because you guys really effed me pretty bad in that game. Just saying.
Effed him in the beat.
I never got to play a hero character outside the opening flipping tutorial where it's like, here's Darth Vader, here's how you do these force powers and stuff, and then that was it. Because
it's a lot easier to play hero characters in the second one.
Well, yeah, Trioptical. Actually, they're like, whoopsie. What a silly
with the first game.
That first game is such a mulligan, man. It's just like, I feel like that first game is like their own internal like Shadows of the Empire of like, we're gonna put this out and just like see what people want, but we're not really gonna like we're gonna like put a game out with like stuff in it, and then like after we get feedback, we're gonna put a second game out that has like all the stuff that they're wanting, because we're gonna get so much feedback, negative and positive, but it's like, it's worth it, guys. It's worth the money and the risk, because just trust me on this one.
It totally was.
And then yeah, look at how many copies it sold, and it just like made me want to vomit, and it's just like, oh, effing man. Here we are again. It's like, well, people will be like super pissed about the first one and like not buy it, or will they buy it and just be like, whatever, man, or like get super angry about the microtransactions thing. I guess we'll see, because it comes out in 2 days. I mean, it's already out for like pre-order people, but
if you spent more money, you have it now.
The suckers and the wells. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. So
I'm gonna get it. See, like, I think that's the thing. Like, I don't mind giving money to developers, like to people who make things that I like. Yeah, no, that's all I have to say about that. So, like, for example, like Paragon, I occasionally feel bad that I've given them I actually have given them money, because
you bought the founder pack.
But still, it's like, I have played this thing so much. and I've spent way more on way less. So on way less game.
He has. He really has.
So it just feels like someday.
I mean, I may have spent more on this game, but like when the game is designed to be a grind anyway, I kind of feel like that's beside the point, or a moot point. Because Jared's always like, "Oh, Tekken, isn't Destiny the best game of generation because you put so many hours into it?" I was like, actually, no, it's not, because the game requires that I put that much time. No, Jared.
Oh.
Because it requires me to like do all these things to get to where I can get in the game, to be at that point of like just going in every week to like do whatever. But then doing that weekly crap is like just a... It's just a check on the box of like, did my thing, let's see what loot I got, and then it's like, let's just, if it's not what I wanted, let's try to do it next week, or just like doing it because there's nothing else to do in the game, because new content, because voracious appetite, because whatever. But whatever, man, whatever. Also, the answer is no, it's not the best game of the generation, so stop asking.
Oh my.
And now in this world of like season passes and DLC, and it's just like, who do I trust? Do I buy it day one? Do I not? Does that bugs the first day? Are they gonna patch it? It's a mess. It's a mess. This current cycle is just such a mess.
I love it.
Again, like, I'm kind of fine with it too. I guess I've been burned very little. Maybe it's the case.
Yes, that's probably what it is, Trioptical, because I will never forget Arkham Knight and Human Revolution and other games, or like or Project Cars, or just games that like got delayed, or like they get delayed, and it's like I cannot see where the delay content or whatever they were doing while they were delaying the game to like do whatever they did to do to get it to where it's at came from, because it does not compute when I play it to be like, oh, I can see where they put all this extra effort and blah blah into this.
Well, but that's because like you don't get to see the game until it's out, so you have no idea
you don't know what it was before.
What it was like, what state it was in
but then
they announced the delay.
Case, it's like I play it and it's like, my taste. I've eaten this cake and I can come to the conclusion: too much Batmobile. Thanks, dudes. Thanks.
Basically, like, that is not necessarily something that they spent extra time on, or like they...
I'm just saying, sometimes the cake is... I'm going to use a cake analogy, like we always do on Aimless. It's like, the cake is like too far done, and it's like, you can't fix the cake sometimes, just saying. Like, Human Revolution, it's like, you get to the end of that game, and it's like, well, that was a lot of filler. I feel very unfulfilled. That was a very unfilling cake in my stomach. Thanks, guys. And you play DLC, and it's like, oh, these are very one-off side story nonsense that don't tie into the full story. Thanks for that bit of frosting on the cake. Thanks for that. And I'm just the sucker that paid extra for it. And it's like, oh well, I learned my lesson this time. And then after learning enough lessons, calm down, Tekken. After learning enough lessons, this console generation, I've had enough. And if your game has a season pass or some gold edition air quotes or ultimate edition air quotes or whatever the F DLC added on top of it, if you pre-order it, it's like, maybe I'll just wait until the game's out and then see how people react to it instead of like giving you my money up front, because you're probably not trustworthy at that point if it's not just a game like something from Telltale or BioWare that, like, I mean, the list is like very short at this point, like on my like Tekken's prestige exclusive list of who I trust when they're making a game to give them money day one for the experience, because it's like you've all burned your bridges. Watch Dogs, looking at you, Ubisoft, because you kind of crapped the bed with that one. So yeah. And then, as much as I love Far Cry Primal, it's like, hey, let's find a new Far Cry, and then put up all these ultimate deluxe gold blah 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 blahs on top of it. It's like, you guys had something here. We had a working relationship, and I really enjoyed the Far Cry games, and then you had to do that. It's like, oh, you're off the list now. So there you go. Good job, but not good job.
So is it about you think they're getting too much money for what they've made?
No, it's just the
or it's not. You're not getting the value for what you paid.
It's like,
like,
not,
which is it?
Is
it like value
like
for you?
It's paying $60 and then like still not having. It's like multiple things, because like you pay $60 but you don't get everything that's in the game, because there's like stuff on top that you're not getting for not getting, just getting the base game, air quote base game, And then there's like the stuff that's not in the base game not being worth the extra money, but they're still going to charge other people, and other people are going to buy it, and I have no control over that. So it's like I only have control over what I do, and like what I can do is just like not buy the game. So it's like I can help with that. Other people can like buy the season pass or just buy the ultimate edition and be like, whatever, man. And then like they're not the people that are going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait and see. They're just like, oh, I really want to play this game. Or this game's going to be so awesome, man. It's going to be so awesome. They don't do their homework, and they're like, get the game, and it's like, oh, it wasn't worth it, but whatever. I paid the money, so whatever, man. Or I guess it'd be like the big physique of game content of like, but wait, there's a gold edition, but wait, there's an ultimate edition, but wait, there's a season pass, but wait, there's microtransactions. So it's like there's no Trioptical. We have reached a point where they're like, there's no end. It's like, you know, the game comes out and then like more stuff comes out for it, but it's not free unless you're cool, and it's like you're just a ching ching machine for them of like, put money in, nothing comes out because we just want your money, dear boy, money. GTA 5 online, Take-Two says hi, 500 million. In whatever quarter that was of like, oh, look at all our microtransaction, look at all this money, and then everybody's like, you know what? I would like some of that too. And now it's just a slippery slope that we're all sliding down into a giant avalanche in the darkest timeline of oblivion. Of like, where does it stop?
Oblivion.
Who's gonna stop it? Is no one gonna stand up to this madness? Ah.
No.
See, yeah, like I'm still not certain which it is. Is it you think they're getting too much money?
I don't think. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're getting too much money. I just think it's a bad business practice to like have a full game and then on top of that have extra stuff. And then like if I get the base game, it's like I'm missing out on the stuff. But then the stuff isn't really worth them extra money anyway. And then like in the season pass situation, it's like, well, that's a whole can of worms as far as like. Until Shadow of War came out and like the whole European policies of like, well, you have to say what's in the product before you can release games like this in this market. And now they have like trailers for the season pass before the game's even out, which is like even worse because it's like that's a whole other can of worms as far as like production and like resources, blah blah. But back to the.
At least they're letting you put on makeup before they screw you this time.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the question. It's like it's not about them getting like more than they deserve. It's just a bad business practice in general, and like the principle of the matter of just like I can't. That's why I'm done with it. I'm over it. Like if a game has a season pass, or if a game has a tiered version that's like you have a base version, then you have a gold and ultimate, or like whatever. Like you have stuff above the $60 MSRP version of the base version. It's like you're just dead to me, and I'm not gonna buy your game until it's out and people have like if passed judgment on it, say, well, Tuggood, here's a scoop, and then like I read the review or like the review and like, oh, okay, which is usually, oh, you should wait on this one because that just seems to be the way this conversation is going as far as like it wasn't worth it. Sad face. I mean, I say that. I mean, that being said, like it's not like we have a lot of bad games. It's just there's just too much greed going on for profits and whatnot. So, like I said, like we say all the time, it's like not there's a lot of bad games.
You
out,
say
just...
those things, and then it's like they're getting too much money. Is what you think?
I didn't say that, Trioptical. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying it's.
But well, if it's greed,
I mean, okay, fine. If you want me to say yes, it's like it's a profit deal. It's like they're like doing all these tricks and things, and it's like to inflate the price of the product, and then people are paying the price and they're getting the money. So it's like yes, that's an issue because like at that point, it's a business thing. It's not an art thing. As far as like this is our artistic vision that we want to make and put out. As far as like what we're developing, it's just we want to please our shareholders and the people that we're fiduciarily responsible to make money for them. And it's like that's not the way it should be, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was the first news story. The second one is also actually related to EA. They went out and got them a new studio. They went and bought Respawn, the guys who make Titanfall,
Also,
which is kind of.
It begins.
I wonder what it feels like because the people who started
that's the weird thing is like they broke from
who started
Activision.
Infinity
It's
Ward.
like why would they do that? Like why would they sell out like that?
Well, the thing is, they were the people who made Medal of Honor too, so they actually did used to work for EA.
I was just about to say it's all come full circle.
And then now they're going to be part of EA again. It's sort of like less funny. Well, I mean, not for the Assassin's Creed guy, but when he left Ubisoft and then was making that game for THQ, and then THQ like died. That game got bought by Ubisoft. But yeah, so it was sort of, people called it a stealth announce because as they were purchased, they had to say some stuff, and they said, yeah, we're working on a Star Wars game and the next Titanfall. So Titanfall 3 is happening.
With microtransactions and loot boxes, look forward to that. Please be excited.
Marvel Heroes is shutting down.
No!
Disney is ending its relationship with Gazillion Entertainment, the people who made it, and so the game is being closed.
Well, at least
don't
they
have
didn't spend any money
really
on that
any
game.
details on it yet.
So they're just gonna like stop updating it, or how's it gonna work?
I think it's just gonna get shut down because it's an MMO.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
It'll just be
So
gone.
they didn't finish
So it's
the
just gonna
game.
be, it won't exist
I need
anymore.
to get on that. Well, at least we'll always have Destiny. DC, save us, please. Oh wait, they have DC Universe Online. Never mind.
Jared had DC Universe,
So,
yeah.
yeah, we still got DC Universe Online. Unless you're just one of those people that are like, I don't like DC, I like Marvel. Yeah.
I like Marvel.
Well, I'm one of those people who is not mutually exclusive, so you know, like both. There you go.
I like DC better.
What?
But I watched a lot of Marvel stuff.
Go home. Just go home.
No.
You're not allowed here.
Here's a weird one. Apparently, the Wall Street Journal says that all that's left, like this is happening. Mario is gonna have a new movie made by Universal.
Like Super Mario?
Super Mario.
Oh, yes,
Nintendo, there's gonna be. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's probably gonna be animated.
I mean,
which
that's
would
yeah. At least like
good.
The abomination
Well-
live action '90s film that we can all remember.
Well, they
How could
might try
mess
to
this up,
live
RPG?
action it.
If it's animated, I don't think they can F this up. Just saying.
They might live action it still. We don't know it's going to be animated.
I mean, if it's animated, I have no issues. So it's like I just hope it's a return. I mean, not a return, but like it's on par or like better than the olden times Super Mario Super Show stuff. And it will be because it's like modern animation, which is like CG and very pretty looking visuals. So yeah. I mean, that'll be weird though. If like, but then I'm like, don't be just don't do Sunshine. If it's not Sunshine, we're good. It's like it could be anything else. Just like don't do Mario Sunshine, and we're good. Asterisk to that. It's like
Why would they do Mario Sunshine?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like they can like maybe they're like picking or choosing like what Mario stuff they want to do, and it's like they're like.
But that'd just be so random.
Climate
can't do
change.
Galaxy.
And climate change now. We should do Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, sorry, Sunshine for clean up the environment or something. Blah blah blah.
And then they're going to be like, that's so random. Why would we do that? You know what? Screw it. Let's do it.
So I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, it could still be live action. I mean, they've live actioned so many video games that could have possibly been animated. So it's like, at this point, it's like, well.
I mean, like with the exception of the Castlevania Netflix thing, I don't think there's been a recent anime. I remember the Halo whatever one that was animated too. Like, there hasn't been many animated game adaptations. So hopefully it's animated though, because seriously, have you not seen the tracker on live action?
No, this time. This time it'll work.
Next news story, Trioptical.
The Game Awards. They announced their nominees.
Nier got snubbed. Boo.
Nier got snubbed, really.
I don't.
Well, we're not going to go through with all through all of them because we are not the Game Awards.
But we could be.
We could be.
I don't know about that.
No, we couldn't.
There can be miracles when you believe.
But Game of the Year, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds,
Not even a finished product. What? Does not belong.
Persona 5,
Woo!
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Robot dinosaurs.
Yeah. The butt.
Well, so the PUBG thing.
Yes.
How
I
does
mean,
it get nominated
on the
for
one
when
hand,
it technically isn't a game, is your question? Well, that's a great question, Tropical, because people are stupid. That's why. Is that a satisfying enough answer for you?
I think it's fine.
What?
Because, as Tekken was saying,
You can pay money for it.
you know, games come out that are incomplete. So, like, when is a game complete
Dude,
now?
dude.
When it's actually
Games are
released.
never
Dude,
complete.
tropical. You can make that argument as like game is never complete, but there's like a line that you have to cross as far as like when is it like up to standards? It's like standards in S&P standards and poors. No, that's not it.
That-
Do you
that's
say
a
standards
totally
and
different
pours?
thing.
There's an
Sounds like
S&P. It's like there's a YouTube thing. It's like guideline where it's like S&P on your channel. It's like standards and something. Anyway, anywho, there's like a thing that you have to like meet the bare minimum bar to like be considered retail ready game, and that game does not live up to that bar because it's like if it's not out of alpha or beta or like whatever the F like you get to before you're at like final release form golden or like the gold copy gold disc thingy, then like you're not there. Like you can sell your game all you want in pre-release form, but if you're not in post-release, then you should not be up to consideration because your game is not.
But
done.
see, like, who decides post-release?
That would be the creator.
Only the creator.
Yes.
But, like, that's sort of arbitrary, right? I mean, it's the definition of arbitrary. It's based off of some guy's
But there's a
opinion
reason
of
why
how
they
the
consider
game
that
should be done.
tropical. If there's like a ton like bugs and glitches and crap in your game, and like we're still working on it, like around the clock. Clearly,
Well,
there's
I
a reason
mean,
why.
Fallout, Skyrim, these are Game of the Year winners, and yet they are full of bugs and glitches. The only difference is those guys said, this is done. Except that we're going to keep patching and working on it, but it's done.
It's called
like,
a
that's the only
formality of process or something. Or
So
whatever
all-
it's called. Arbitrariness.
So all you have to
is it.
say is that it's done, and then, like, the PUBG guy could come out tomorrow and say, you know what, it's done.
But the problem is, when it got nominated, it wasn't.
that's
So your argument is moot.
Because that's the thing, is like games now, like I'm always saying, like we're always saying, it's like when the game's out, it's like they're still getting worked on. There's still like all these updates and crap. So it's like, game's never really done, but it's gotta get to that point of, okay dudes, it's coming out, like Gran Turismo style, like you can't just be like, we're gonna
It's got to
have a
get to
release
the
date.
point when the guy says that it's done,
Yes.
no matter the state of the game.
Have you
As long
not
as he doesn't
seen
care about
these day one updates
just releasing crap.
from these games, Tropical? Yes.
Yeah, so no matter the state of the game, as long as
Yeah.
they've said it's done, that's when it's
It's
done.
fine.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yep.
So as long as he's okay with lying to his consumers and betraying their trust and being a dirtbag and being like, hey, let me just say this half-finished game is actually finished, then yes, that's fine, Tropical. That's fine if you want to be a horrible, horrible human being. So yes, Tropical, yes. The answer to your question
I mean, look at
yes.
Look at Star Citizen. That game has been in air quote early access development for like however long, however millions of dollars, and it's still not technically done. So just saying.
I mean, Gmail is still in beta or something right now, and it's like, eventually, Google's going to be like, yes, it is done. Don't know when, but they're working on it.
I think Gmail's actually out of beta.
Yeah, I think it is too. But I was just saying.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it is at this point.
Yeah, it's
I
like
hope so.
Standards and practices. That's it. Standards and practices. That's the one, not the pores. That's the stock market.
Yes, that's a different thing.
Standards and practices. Gotta have standards. Okay.
Do you?
Yes, you
Do
do.
you?
Or you end up like the guy down by the river. living in a van.
Oh my god, I love living in vans.
There was another like weird story I saw, but I can't find it. So that's the news I have then.
Okie dokie.
Oh, did you want to do the Destiny 2 stuff? Because you saw that stream and I did not.
Wow. I completely forgot we talked about this in the pre-show. But there was a Destiny Curse of Osiris first stream, content stream thingy Bungie did, and just talked about the a smidgen, the first drop of PR droplets out of the water bottle to get excited. And the light level is going up to 325 or power level, whatever. I'll just call it light level. It's the same thing. It's whenever they change the name because they're lame like that. So power level is going up to 325 with mods on anyway. And then they've got their biggest public event ever, but they're not going to show it until next week, I guess. And then all the raid activities, air quotes or whatever, that they're adding, because there is no new raid. So have fun with that. In this expansion or the next one, they're just adding a new area to the Leviathan because it's so big and so massive. So there's that, and supposedly they're not as lengthy as the normal raid. And then the normal raid's going to be raised to 300 on the power level. You get to go to the lighthouse as the new hub area, and then patrol zone is on Mercury too, which is pretty cool. There's this place called the Infinite Forest, pretty cool. Every time you go in. Supposedly every time you go in is different. It's not procedurally generated, but it is basically just like combinations of enemies and locations are different every time you go in, so it should be neat. We'll see how it works. New armor, new weapons. I think that's... I mean, there's this thing called the Forge where you can like make stuff or make weapons, but it's not anything different than what's been in the game. Essentially you just get like equipment and gear from the world through the Curse of Osiris content, and then come back to the Forge and make it. So but that being said, I'm not sure if it's like a perk system like Destiny 1. It probably isn't, since they ditched it, but I guess we'll see. They didn't really show any of the gear anyway, so and then in the opening cinematic, it's pretty cool because it's got Osiris and he has this ghost who has a name, I forgot what it was. She talks, and then they're okay, so in the cinematic it gets kind of weird. Like, it's obviously in the Vault of Glass, but it's not actually the Vault of Glass. It's just a simulation because the Vex have basically bored out the inside of Mercury, and like it's just a hollow simulation machine that they just run constant simulations to like simulate everything because they're searching for something. But we don't know yet until we actually play the campaign, because it's going to be revealed like what they're doing, their whole big end game for everybody. Because apparently there's like this dark future that you can get to in the Infinite Forest to like see the end. It's pretty creepy. And yeah.
Did they simulate us kicking Atheon's butt all the time? Because we did.
Possibly. But then but yeah, like the lair LAIR thing, it's kind of like, you know, it's like that. You go in a different part of the raid and like you go do stuff, either puzzle-y things or sandboxy combat things. And that's basically the way it's going to be for expansion 2 as well. They're going to add another layer. So that's just the first layer that you get this time. And I guess it's going to maybe change every week, I'm not sure. But there's also going to be a prestige edition of that as well as the normal edition eventually. And it's not going to drop when the expansion drops. It's going to drop some other time, because they said we have to have the starting line so we can have people have their teams ready, or whatever lame reason, whatever. So yeah, Curse of Osiris, December 5th.
I want to be Osiris when I grow up.
And I saw
I guess finally
gameplay on PlayStation All Access. It looks pretty good.
Yo. The ghost is a girl, by the way. It's a pretty big deal.
No, so the other thing I saw was Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 is going to be in Tekken 7.
Noctis!
Kind of funny.
Stand by him!
And then the Ninja Turtles are going to be
that got me so excited, dude. It was so like weird because like in my brain I just like wish that they could like NetherRealms could like make a game with all the guest DLC characters and like make a fighting game, like not even worry about like trying to make like a cohesive story about it, but just like detach all their like story characters.
They're all
Or
here.
like detach all their guest characters and like put them in a fighting game, so it's not like a bunch of characters that are like randomly in a Mortal Kombat game or a bunch of characters that are randomly in a DC fighting game. Because it's like that doesn't really make sense to have like Superman versus Ninja Turtles. It's like kind of weird. But like if you have like a bunch of like pop culture characters in a game, that kind of makes sense. It's just weird like that.
Well, I mean, there were comic book characters first, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's like nobody that like knows them unless they like know them from the comics, which is the majority of people I would say do not know that they are comic characters. Would like recognize that, and it's different. It's like they're not in like the DC universe. They're not in like the 52 or whatever. So, or that multiverse of whatever. They're from IDW. So
Mutants exist.
different publishing branch. They're not even shut up, RPG.
Some more mutants.
They're not X-Gene mutants.
They could be. You don't know. Spider-Man got
Actually, I do,
retconned and
because
stuff
they are
before.
turtles that were from the ooze that got them all genetically
Maybe
mutated.
the ooze had X gene in it.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, you don't know. It's a comic
That's not
book.
how-
It could be. Or maybe the Scarlet Witch was like, "Hey guys, you're mutants now," and they're just like, "Cool, this is us now. This is us." This is what happens when you have Omega level mutants running around reshaping reality to their whims and whatnot. So, isn't Jean coming back too soon? They just don't even care anymore.
Well, technically,
they're like, guys.
Time Displace First Class is already back, so technically she's already back.
Well, I mean, like dead Jean is coming back.
Eventually. But
So I mean,
and the reason I'm super excited is because it's like the old school character models. It's not like the lame Michael Bay with nostrils or noses turtles. It's like
Michael Bay
the turtles from
screwing
your
up stuff from your childhood.
So actually, I'm kind of like interested. Like, could they put the Transformers in that game or something? That I would buy it, dude. Day one, if they put like Optimus Prime shows up, that's it, dude. I will get Injustice with all the DLC. Like, if that ever happens. Even though it doesn't make any sense at all, I don't care. And I want them just to have like a pop culture character game. 'Cause it's like it's kind of weird. Like they're throwing all these characters in like the MK and DC fighting games. It's like it's just like it's getting a bit too fan servicey. It doesn't bother me, but it's just like it's because like you don't. I mean, before we had Noctis and Tekken, it's like nobody else really ever crosses the streams like this. You guys are making it super weird all the time in other realms. So.
Smash Brothers says hi.
Oh, yeah, there's that too. But Smash. Well, I mean, that's like a whole thing though for them. It's like it's just a bunch of characters from different works.
I mean, technically, you don't know if Tekken is like that too. I mean, there's like bears or something running around and they're fighting in tournaments. I mean, it could be anybody. Tekken, it could be anyone.
I'm just saying, dude. I like cohesive worlds and universes. That makes sense.
Yeah, because Tekken makes so much sense with its wooden samurais and its bears and mini dinosaurs and angel demon peoples and CEOs for some reason also participating in tournaments to beat the crap out of people and be terrible parents. That's all cohesive and normal. You're right. You're right.
It does. That's why it's so much fun.
I was being sarcastic.
But yeah, before we had Sonic and Snake and whoever else. I mean, and then Cloud in the next one, all the other, and Bayonetta. There wasn't any like weirdness like that, so or as much weirdness, I guess, as the NetherRealm stuff.
Remember that time Final Fantasy, like Square Enix had like
I
a
mean, I guess
racing
that
game?
being said, they did have like Mortal Kombat versus DC as an actual game, but it's like to me that's just I never played that one. And like B, that's just a weird crossover thing for money. So
It wasn't canon. As canon as one can be in either of those universes. Because once again,
what's a good one RPG?
they just make nonsense happen. They just make nonsense happen.
So yeah. Also, I kind of wish they'd like use those character models in the actual Turtles game, but whatever. So one can dream. One can dream.
Can one dream though? Do robots dream of electric sheep?
But yeah, that was the Destiny 2 thingy and stuff. So I guess we can wrap it up here. and go reading and stuff or whatever.
Take it away, Trioptical. Take it away.
Cool. Google us on Google. That's where you do it. Aimless podcasts. And subscribe to us on YouTube. So you can watch us live. Well, I use watch very loosely there.
Or listen to, jeez.
Yeah, that one.
You know, for a game he hated, game replaced Final Fantasy 15 an awful lot.
Well, the co-op stuff just came out, I think, so you might be playing that.
Still not an excuse.
Might be for him.
Like, I actually liked the game and I didn't buy any of the DLC. He bought all of it.
Did you buy Season Pass?
No, he did not.
Oh, well, that is weird. Anywho, anything that you want to say before we sign off, RPG?
No more mutants.
Anything you want to say before we sign off, Tropical?
Nope.
You know, I gotta say,
He's okay with there being no more mutants.
I really wish I could like find the animated turtles somewhere because I haven't had a chance to like rewatch it since I was a child to like see how it's aged. Since I'm always defending G1 Transformers about like it's not that bad, guys. It's not because I love it. I can't get enough of it.
But it
like, it seems weird like that. Whatever.
I think Old Turtles. It started out pretty good, and then it got weird later on.
I mean, that's the thing about Turtles. It's like it makes it so cool. Like it gets to like trans-dimensional travel and like weird stuff of like dimension.
That's fine. It got really weird later on.
The current stuff is more similar to how it's the same way with like the Transformers thing because it's like it's similar to like how Transformers went where it's like you like your childhood you thought it was cool but then when you look back on it it really wasn't and then they like made the one that you imagined it was kind of thing. So
the current one is like this is what you thought Turtles was.
So,
back in the day.
It's like
far more
Prime.
darker and fighty and everything. And people die.
Ooh.
People die.
I kind of want to watch it now. Yeah, that's it for this episode. So, you know, until you hear from us again, Aimless Babble Z. And we're now signing off.
In the darkest timeline.